Okay. Now, I was recording during church and hit the wrong button. So, therefore, hi everybody. Gonna do something different intermixed in the weeks coming up. We're gonna look at some role models. We all have role models, and there's some incredible people in the Bible, and so we're gonna look at a few as we go. Samuel's where I'm starting. Samuel's story, though, begins with his parents. His father, Elkanah, had 2 wives. Now, one wife was able to have children, and she had plenty of children. They were, she was a happy, happy woman. But Samuel, or Elkanah, had another wife named Hannah, and she was desperate to have children, but she was barren. Now you can imagine the problems already, because the one wife who has all the children wasn't real nice about Hannah not having children. You can imagine that when she would get pregnant or she would have a child, she would be full of joy and rub it into Hannah ever so not so slightly that Hannah was barren. Now Hannah took this for years, and she was beaten down by the insults and the truth of her barrenness. But her husband did love her. Now her husband would go yearly to the priests for worship and to sacrifice. Now one year, Hannah had had enough. She quit eating. She wept. She was despondent. She was just in despair. Now Elkanah, her husband, was concerned, and he tried his best to cajole her, and he tried to, soothe her heart. But the truth was, he couldn't do it. So Hannah, she knew what she needed to do. So she went with him that year to go to the temple to see Eli, the priest. And when she was there, she went in and she was praying so deeply. She was weeping. And she was begging the Lord in her prayers. Lord of hosts, if only you would look on the misery of your servant and remember me. Not forget your servant, but give your servant a male child. I will set him before you, Lord. I will give you to him. I will give him to you to the day of his death. He shall drink neither wine nor intoxicant. No razor shall touch his head. God, I will give you my baby. Now, while she was praying, Eli was watching. And he was watching her mouth move, but no sound. And he was watching. He got to think, I got a crazy woman here. She's drunk. She's got to be. So he approached her and he said, how long have you been a drunken spectacle? Stop. Stop drinking. Put it away. But Hannah must have been startled and just shocked and looked at him. So no, please. I'm a woman with deep, deep ache, deep, deep trouble. I'm not drinking, I promise you. There's no wine, nothing. I've been pouring my soul, my heart out to the Lord. Please, please don't be like all else and regard me as worthless. And she shared. And Eli caught himself and he understood, and with great compassion he said, go in peace. May God of Israel grant the petition you have made. So she left with great faith. And she said, let your servant find your servant find favor in your sight. She went away and ate and drank with her husband, and her countenance was no longer sad. She went away and she had relations with her husband, and she conceived. And she named the child Samuel. I have asked him of the Lord. And you can imagine the great joy and the flooded gates that opened in her heart. They were just full of love and gratitude. Hannah held Samuel in her arms and she weaned him and she loved him. But when he no longer needed her to feed him, but was weaned, she fulfilled her promise. She took him back to Eli. She gave her son to the Lord. He would live in the holy place. He would learn the holy ways, and he would be a holy man. She would prayerfully hold her vow she would keep her promise. And she would visit him each year and be blessed beyond measure with more children. But her heart's desire, the child who opened her life as a mother, proved her not be barren, to end the insults and the agony, to stop her torment, would be her greatest gift to the Lord. Samuel did learn, and he did grow, and he did learn and grow in the holy ways, and he did catch the eye of the Lord. But, see, Eli, the priest, he had sons of his own, and they were bad men who abused their responsibilities and took advantage in the temple. They took advantage of God's people. And God witnessed it. And God responded. Said this to Eli: "A time is coming when I cut off your strength and the strength of your ancestors' family. No one in your family will live to old age. The only one whom I shall not cut off shall be spared to weep his eyes out and grieve his heart. All the members of your family, your household shall die by the sword. The fate of your 2 sons shall be the sign to you. Both of them, they will die the same day. I will raise up for myself, though, a faithful priest who will do according to what is in my heart and my mind. I will build him a sure house, and he will go in and out and be anointed forever. And everyone who is left in your family, Eli, shall come and prostrate himself before my chosen for a piece of silver or a loaf of bread, and they will beg, 'Please put me in one of the priest's places that I may eat bread, just a morsel.'" It was a prophecy. It wasn't changeable. It wasn't redeemable. It was just plain truth. And eventually, it came true. Eli did grow a little older, and Samuel heard the Lord. Eli, whose eyesight had begun to grow dim, was lying in his room. The lamp of God had not gone out, and Samuel was lying in the temple with the ark of God. And the Lord said, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel rose, and he ran to Eli, and he said, "Here I am." And Eli said, "I did not call you. Go lie down." So he did. The Lord said, "Samuel." Samuel got up and ran back to Eli. "Here I am. You called me." "No, I did not call you. Go lie down." Samuel did not yet know the Lord, and the word of the Lord had not been revealed to him. The Lord called Samuel again a 3rd time, and he got up and he went to Eli. "Here I am. You called me." Eli, the lights went on, perceived that the Lord was calling the boy. And Eli said to Samuel, "Go, lie down, and if you hear again, say, 'Speak, your servant is listening.'" Samuel must have been confused, but he was obedient. He had learned the holy ways. He was a good man. So he went and he lay down. The Lord came and stood and called, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel responded, "Speak, for your servant is listening." And the Lord said, "I'm about to do something in Israel that will make both ears of anyone who hears tingle. On that day I will fulfill against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house, from beginning to end. I have told him that I am about to punish his house forever for the iniquity that he knew, because his sons have been blaspheming, and he did not restrain them. I swear to the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be fixed by sacrifice or offering forever." Samuel thought about those words as he lay there the rest of the night into the morning, reflecting, thinking, pondering. I bet Eli was concerned. Eventually, the prophecy came true. Eli's sons were brutally killed by the blade of a sword. Eli died, and the world changed for Samuel. I'll see you next week for part 2. God be with you, and may you be a role model, imperfect and blessed, for God's love to flow through your life. Amen.